Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a surprising guide for you about Hipfire in Apex Legends. Essentially, Hipfire is extremely strong in this game on a variety of weapons that it really shouldn't be, and today I wanted to talk about that, go through some tier lists, and generally give you some advice. Now, most of you know that hipfiring the R99 can be really strong. What will surprise a lot of players, even still several months after the game comes out, is that several other weapons have extremely accurate long-range hipfire, like the G7. The Spitfire probably isn't a surprise to a lot of you, but the Hemlock maybe. The Hemlock is incredibly accurate hipfire. It really should not perform this good because it's supposed to be a DMR accuracy rifle, and normal FPS, logic would indicate no, and the Prowler is good as well. There's just a ton of weapons that you can go to the practice range and test the hipfire on, and I would strongly recommend that you do that, but I want to talk about some basic facts. Number one is that the hipfire boxes you see on screen are not representative of the actual hip for most weapons. They are inaccurate in two different ways. Number one is that the hipfire box is often significantly tighter, or sometimes different than what you're seeing, and the shape of the hipfire boxes, either the deltas, the 3 dashes, or the 4 dashes, or having a dot in the middle, don't really seem to mean anything. The weapons that you would think with the deltas would have side-to-side recoil only also kick up and down in hipfire boxes, and ones that have really wide hipfire more or less hit on the center dot all the time. So what you see really isn't what you get, and I would tell you to completely ignore the hipfire boxes in this game and just aim for center almost all the time. I'm not sure if this was coded wrong or as a feature. I've been told that this was the same in good old Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, but it seems really strange that the feedback that I get on the screen is not representative of what's happening. And for the majority of the weapons, the hipfire is significantly tighter than what you're seeing on screen, so for the majority of the weapons, hipfiring is a better strategy than you would expect. It kind of reminds me of all the hipfire going on in Battlefield 1, and hipfiring is better than aiming down sights in a lot of situations because you maintain your field of view, your mobility, you don't have to track people as well, and if you're not Shroud or Mendo and you can't aim down sights and like quick snap heads or whatever, getting a bunch of reliable body shots is an extremely good idea. Now I'm going to take a quick break and we are going to go through a tier list of good hipfire weapons. Number one in the S tier is going to be the R99. It's a beautiful, beautiful gun. It doesn't have that perfect like center hipfire, but the hipfire box is really tight. It's always a little bit more centered than the box recommends, and I get really excellent work. I beat shotgun users with this all the time, but you burn your ammo quick. You'll need a purple mag. Of course, from the gameplay, you can tell that the Spitfire has really good hipfire. I would say that its real hipfire box is about half the size of what you see on the screen, and it's essentially a shotgun that you can just walk around and hose people with. It's insanely effective. The Wingman, we did an entire guide on that, which I linked down there in the description. The Wingman is pretty much always perfectly accurate to the center, so in close quarters combat, you really don't need to aim down sights. You can just hipfire it and headshot people and send them to Pound Town. And the RE45 just has naturally really tiny hipfire boxes. You can just hose people with that. It shoots really fast, it has high DPS. If you get the barrel stabilizer and an extended mag, it's a really reliable backup hipfire weapon. In the A tier, which isn't possibly the best, as the S tier, but it still works really well, is the Alternator. I know the Alternator has a low DPS, but it has really tight hipfire recoil for most reasonable ranges. The Prowler is really good, especially with select fire, because again, it's an SMG. And the oddball out here is the Hemlock. The Hemlock isn't as good hipfire as the ones in the S tier, but it is really accurate and much more accurate than the hipfire boxes recommend, and it has a nice center dot, so it's easy to track with. And I would tell you up close, I really wouldn't worry about aiming down sights too much with the Hemlock. I would just spam the hipfire. My B tier today is a set of weapons that is, workable with hipfire, but probably not ideal. I'm going to put the Devotion in there. It's not as reliable as the Spitfire. There is a wind-up time, obviously. That's not good because you want to spray people. So having a turbocharger helps, but it just seems to be a little bit wonky for some reason. The hipfire box seems to be more actually representative of what it's going to be. The G7 Scout has surprisingly nasty hipfire for the type of weapon that it is. That doesn't mean it's the best strategy. It does go off center sometimes, and it isn't really that type of weapon, so I wouldn't recommend it. And the Havoc and the R301 have pretty similar hipfires as well in the B tier, in that they aren't that great. Yes, Havoc and R301 work fine up close, not an issue, but at ranges, you can't really map people like you can with the Wingman or the RE45. You will actually get some inaccuracy with these weapons. And in my trash tier, I'm going to add the Flatline and Longbow. The flatline and longbow hitboxes are, well, the longbow hipfire box is actually very accurate. I mean, it just goes crazy all over the screen. You're not going to hit a lot of hipfire shots with that. The flatline one isn't very accurate to what you would expect for this type of weapon. The hipfire box is significantly bigger than that shows, and it's not a good idea to spam it. I would aim down sights most of the time with the flatline. And in the trash here, I'm going to add one that I think a lot of you are going to disagree with, and that's the triple take. So I added a little asterisk next to the triple take. If you go to the range and test it out, the hipfire accuracy on the triple take is kind of poor at longer distances, which is really the litmus test for this type of weapon. You want to just kind of be able to map people with snipers like you can with the G7 or with the Wingman or something like that. Unfortunately, it's not particularly accurate at range, and the hipfire box doesn't represent the actual width of how far off target it can go. However, that being said, it is reasonably accurate up close, within, close quarters, within certain ranges. And I have had, and because it shoots a wide spread, I have had good luck treating this as a shotgun, very much so up close. But don't try to map people with the hipfire, it's a bad idea. So in general, when in doubt, spray it out. Hipfire is a fantastic strategy. I strongly recommend you all to boot up the practice arena and give it a go and see what's going on. And if you enjoyed this type of video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And I'm going to kick it over to a little bit more of the raw gameplay from the last game so that I can get over 10 minutes and YouTube algorithms won't punish me. Drifter out. Is that the last one?
Or my thing glitched.
Actually, this guy's really close on me here.
Broke
They
armor.
threw 3 arc stars. I'm getting shot up from behind too, by the way.
I've broken 3 people's armor.
Whoa,
Getting
the
shot
guy
at
from
from
behind
behind.
is nailing me.
Shit.
Patching myself up.
This guy right above me who doesn't see me. Like on top of this building.
I'm taking shots.
Good kill. So the ones in front of him.
Need to recharge my shields.
Yeah, they're in this building right here.
So they're going across outside. Broken shields on this robot.
No, now it's broken.
Recharging my shields. You're in view of the enemy.
He's literally one shot. He's running this way. He's behind the rock.
I know, I
He's
know.
about to shoot me.
Leave traps.
Trying to finish.
Enemy down.
I'm dead.
Leave traps.
You're dead. We're just extraordinarily busy here.
Reloading.
Lifeline's on my body.
Eyes
Okay.
are open though.
I have purple armor, you can pick it up.
Oh shit, no I can't. Hey, Mac, you having fun out here?
Uh-huh.
Score with him.
They're gonna finish.
You might have seen it. Not safe there.
I can't see what the fuck is happening.
There it is.
Round 2.
Oh, wow.
Where was the sound?
I didn't hear her running around.
By the way, nice damage.
I had an amazing round of hipfire only.
Did you see what damage you had though?
Yeah. Oh. That's really good damage. That's a rare number.
Oh god, no, 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 no.
I did not get the firearm. I'm out.
Oh, a triple
Also not a
tag.
firearm.
I kicked the lifeline off the roof.
Opening fire.
Mozambique, baby.
Down to an enemy.
You found the lifeline?
Seen that coming. Reloading.
Oh god, oh, yeah.
Phasing. They might be watching.